Yeah, buddy. Here we go. Early
Oh,
schedule. Now, guys, I'm on in 15 minutes. I've got Hannah and Scott joining me from the British Functional Fitness Federation, or BF3. But before that, I have Steve, the mighty Steve, the friend of the show, Steve from Defiant, who's all tucked up and warm now, trying
I
to
am.
keep cool. But Steve, what's been going on? What are you doing?
Right, mate. So I'm at the project, which those that know the Defiant Co know that's where we were born out of. And every year they do like a big marathon day row. New Year's day row.
Hmm.
You can do it in a team, you can do it on your own, you can do it in a few. And every year it gets a little bit bigger. They raise money for charity. And I'm just going to go in and shall I just go in and show you what it looks like right now in the gym?
Yeah,
which
please do.
For New Year's Eve is New Year's Day.
Yeah,
is pretty special. So here we go.
have a look. I'm excited. Blimey.
So this is it.
Wow.
You can see there's people from like all local gyms around, CrossFit Buxton, CrossFit 17, and they're all just getting after it, mate.
That is amazing. How many rowers have you got out? How many ergs?
There's 16 rowers. Yeah, he went and picked. He has 12 already. It's probably one of the best equipped gyms in the country, mate. It's got to be up there. But he's got 12 rowers, and he went and picked up a load from Concept 2. Obviously, they do that really cool thing where you can, as long as you pick them up, you can have them for free. So he went and picked them up and then just put it on box, mate, and here we are. It's insane.
That is amazing. Yeah, so Concept's still in Nottingham?
Yeah, so he's not too far for us. So he's near where I am in centre England. So yeah, it's pretty special, mate. And then we've got, like I said, there's all sorts of people. Like some people have just come to just be part of a team. Some just turn up and get assigned a team. So that's what makes it cool. It's like, to me, it just like really highlights the community because there's some people that are just, because he puts it on Instagram and lets everyone know about it, kids running around and everything. Some people just turn up, mate. There one year, a guy just turned up to row on his own and just did it on his own in about 2 hours, 40 minutes. It was absolutely insane.
No way.
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of show it.
Mate, that is amazing. Just wait there a sec. I like the bands. You know, the
What we're
bands
looking
hanging
at?
up. Love that.
Oh,
Discipline.
there.
That's discipline.
Mate, the ropes are next to him. They're not too tangled. It's actually a miracle. He must have just sorted it.
That's the sign of a good gym. But no, mate, that is. Let's see the gym floor again. That is amazing. Like, you do not get that anywhere else.
No.
Like, you don't get that in any other gym. All the David Lloyds are closed today anyway. But like, you go to regular gyms, there's not this feel. There's not people getting after it. So how long has this been? How long have they been doing this?
They've been doing it since they had the old gym. So that was like one of the team just finished here. So I think since they opened, mate, because what Elliot used to do and runs the project, he on New Year's Day, him and a couple of his mates used to get after it in his garage. They'd be like, they'd have a few beers on New Year's Day, Eve, and then they'd go and like torture themselves on New Year's Day, and it just kind of escalated from there. So when he got the gym, he just made it a thing, and everyone wanted to turn up and be a part of it. And this is the biggest yet. It's like insane. And because they do it for a local charity as well, so like I say, if you come from another gym, you don't pay. You just pay some cash into the charity pot. So it's not like they charge a drop-in or anything like that. It's just about bringing people together and then give what you want to support a local charity as well. Another team just finishing there. Awesome, mate.
That's ours. That's what we've got. Like, any other gym, show us what you've got. We've got this on New Year's Day. How many people have we got there?
Well, there were 80 booked on, but there's way more than that are here, mate. It must be 120 at least. Because people have come to support as well, which makes it awesome.
Yeah, Sean Roddy's in the chat. He says, "Well done and Happy New Year to you, Steve, as well." But yeah, cheers, Sean.
Oh, let me get Elliot. Elliot!
Where is he?
Help. This is the man behind it.
Amazing.
You're on, mate. We've had it, mate.
All right, Elliot, how you doing? Can you hear me?
can't hear you. I can't hear you,
Okay.
but
Fair enough. Right, well, tell him well done. Incredible.
Yeah. There you go, mate. So
Insane.
I'm gonna get off because I think I need to have a cool down now, mate. If that's all right.
Yes, mate. Yeah. Well, enjoy being there. Get as much footage as you can and send it across because that's special. That's what CrossFit's about.
I've got a pretty cool video as well. So me and Elliot did it together in a pair, and the last 100 meters, his little girls finished it. They could barely reach the handles, so they did 50 meters each to bring it to a close for our time. So arguably as well, they were rowing faster than me. So
how long did it take you?
We did it in 2:37, I think it was.
How did you break it up?
We did it 3 minutes on, 3 minutes off. We just figured you could. Elliot's a great rower. He was rowing about a 148, 149 consistently, or about 155, 156 by the end. He was hanging.
Wow.
There were a team in a pair that finished before us. They did it in probably finished about 3 or 4 minutes before us. They were beating it. Big lads, you know, they smashed it.
Wow.
But yeah, mate, that's our New Year's Day. New Year, new me.
Yeah, that is incredible, mate. Be really proud and just enjoy being there and just have a look around because you'll look back one day and this will be the highlight. This will be a golden day.
This is what I mean, mate. And I know it sounds silly to say, but like some of my mates last night, they were all out and they were like, "Oh, you coming out?" And I was like, "No, because I wanted to be fresh for this." And it was like they couldn't understand that. And you know, they're my good mates, so I'm not going to say that anyone's decisions are wrong, but like. Nobody else has got this coming up starting the new year like this, and that's worth more than a few beers on New Year's Eve to me, mate, every time.
Hell yeah. Oh, mate, no, be proud. That's awesome. Showcasing the CrossFit community and what we're all about. So yeah. Nice one.
Awesome. Right, mate. I will speak to you soon. Have a good show with the BF3 legends.
Yeah, man. Have a good one. See you later, mate.
Cheers, bro. See you later.
Bye. How good's that? Right, as I said, I have got Scott and Hannah on, scheduled for 12, but I will quickly message Hannah now and just let her know that she can come on early if she likes. Now, I went to the gym earlier. Where is she? I was at the gym earlier and I thought, how can I see the new year in? And what do you think I did? I went in and I did some circus tricks, did some handstand work, handstand walking. I did some bench press because I can, did some double unders, did some bent over rows. I did the complete opposite of what Steve's just done. So Steve's just done a marathon row in a group of about 100 people with kids and spectators there as well. How cool is that, right? That I was talking to my client this morning about CrossFit and about the new year and about the difference between regular gyms and CrossFit gyms in the new year. And I was thinking of maybe do it like, not pleading, but kind of talking to my friends and family. Every now and again, I might put a video out on my personal Facebook page where I know a lot of them see what I do. A lot of them see videos here and there or me referencing CrossFit because I talk about it now and again. But the Facebook hasn't been a major part of my social media presence over the last sort of 5 years, I'd say, since I've had kids. Well, 8 years, 9 years. But that's where I speak to and comment and all that kind of stuff with a lot of my family and friends. So, you know, let's say there's 1,000 people that are on there that I'm connected to. I think word of mouth, I was thinking about this earlier, word of mouth, I think Facebook is probably where I can appeal to my closer friends and family rather than people on Instagram that are just from random people from around the world that I've met and picked up and that I'm friendly with, but not close friends and family, really. So I'm thinking maybe do a video specifically for Facebook to talk about what we are and what we do and what we entail and what in the new year, you get a lot of the people, which is amazing. You get people. Hannah's on her way in. You get people signing up for the gyms, and what I've noticed over the years, and I think this is probably commonplace, is people want to get fit and want to lose the weight, and they want to do that and the other and get stronger and everything, like the New Year's resolutions. But at the same time, they want to save money. So what we tend to find, and I personally have found, that the cheaper gyms get busier in the new year. We don't tend to get that massive influx in the new year. Obviously, we're a premium price point, we're a boutique. We tend to get busy around March time, just before Easter. And I think that's where people's newbie gains, the new year brigade realize they haven't got anywhere. It hasn't worked. The first couple of weeks, amazing. By the 8th, 10th week, are struggling for motivation. They're struggling to get the kit they want. They're struggling to get into the gym, and they need a bit more direction. And then they're willing to spend a bit more money. I kind of want to address that before people latch on and get in the gyms. So I want to showcase what we do, and I want to showcase what we have and what we teach and what we coach, and our pyramid and the movement standards that we have, and being accountable, part of a group of world-class coaches. We've got everything under one roof. It's like Toys R Us. That's an idea. I can recreate the Toys R Us theme. It's a magical place. Right. Note. Toys R Us advert. Right, you heard it here first. I'm going to work on that today and try and put that out. Let's see what AI can produce. I'm a bit bad with AI, but yeah. So there we go. So there we go, guys. So I have Hannah in here in the green room. Hang on, where are we?
Hello,
Hannah. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I like your rugby top.
Oh, thanks.
Nice. It's a bit more professional than my hoodie.
Oh, wow. It was a freebie from my neighbour, so I went, I'll have that.
Nice. Awesome. Nice neighbour. Happy New Year to you.
And you. And you. Did you have a nice, do you do New Year's Eve, or is it a New Year's Day, fresh start? How do you play it?
Well, I was just saying, I kind of, Steve was just nipped on for 5 minutes. Just he's at his gym, The Project, and they've done a marathon row this morning. And
I saw that. That's pretty cool. There's massive turnout. Yeah,
there's like over 100 of them then kids running around, family, all that kind of stuff. So incredible. A real showcase of what we've got at our gyms. Whereas I kind of did the complete opposite, and I went and did a bro sesh and handstand walking. Because I kind of like to be fitness alternative.
I was going to say powerlifting and handstand walking.
A bit of both. Yeah, the only bit I didn't do was the cardio was the only bit. But that was the only bit. But I can do that later. Go for a walk in the woods. Hi, Scott. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Excellent. Very well, thank you. I'm glad you can hear me all right. I won't say can you hear me because it's cliche now. So, Scott, we're just talking about what we did this morning with our fitness. Are you at the gym right now? It looks like you're in some sort of fitness.
I am, yes. I am in the gym, but no, I haven't trained today.
Tell them where you are in the country. Well,
where I am, I'm in Northern Ireland, a place called Ballymena in Northern Ireland. So yeah, we've had 2 classes this morning. So they're just wrapped up, and yeah, jumped on here.
Amazing. And what was the class today? Was it geared up for this kind of was it part of your program?
Listen, it was not really today, just a bit of a sweat class to let people come in and sweat off a bit of the eating and drinking they've been doing over the last few days. So back into programming first thing tomorrow.
But you've got this cool new change in program, haven't you, for this year?
Yeah, I have. So we're still doing CrossFit, we're still doing high rocks, but yeah, we just split the way they train slightly just so they recover better. We're going to be having 2 days a week of just purely strength training, 2 days a week of just fitness training, and then 2 days a week where they can split off and train for their high rocks competitions or train for their CrossFit competition.
Mate, that's amazing. Very, very in tune. So, funny you should say that. I saw Jason Khalipa sort of. I don't know how. We'll come into you and personally and how old you are, how long you've been in the space, Scott. But I'd imagine a while. Khalipa was.
What are you trying to say?
I know. I was just thinking that.
Wait.
Well, your clear
you have an
experience.
mate.
Yeah, you're clearly an experienced man.
Okay.
You're very knowledgeable. I just thought, you'd have had to have been in the industry a long time to gain that expertise. But Khalipa was sort of like the guy that I sort of tracked because he, like, I'm not saying I'm as big as him, but like body type wise, I was very similar to him in terms of like CrossFit and what he was good at. I was good at that kind of thing. I'm following him at the moment, and like the whole spirituality thing aside, everything that he's doing in the gym and he's talking about, and he put his split the other day, and I was like, my God, it's exactly mine. Like, he's doing a couple of heavy strength days that are like push pull, lower body, upper body. He's doing a couple of longer like fitness cardio sort of sessions, and then a couple of days where he's active and getting out and doing specifics. And I was like,
yeah,
that's remarkably similar to what I've naturally kind of fallen into. And by the sounds of it, you've kind of done that with your gym programming as well, which is really interesting.
Yeah, so I just think a lot of people have kind of not lost, but maybe just got confused with everything that's happening within fitness at the minute. We have CrossFit, we have High Rocks, are the two big ones at the minute. But I mean, no matter what you're training for, you still have to be strong and you still have to be fit. So getting caught up with being able to do a handstand walk and do a bar muscle up is great, but we still need to be fit. We still need to be strong. So yeah, I think you need to prioritize those days, and then you can specialize in the sport that you're training for.
Yes, 100%. And I think somewhere along the line that because of the sheer number of programmers specifically for CrossFit and functional and hybrid and all the likes, because it's sort of, there's so many people, and you have to have a USP to sell, basically, away from main site and mains. You look at Mayhem, you look at NorCal back in the day, you look at all the different types of people programming. One of the special things that I love, and I love hearing it, but like from yourself, is that you take pride in actually programming for your own tribe. Like, you're in touch with them, you know what they're doing, and you want to pass on that magic.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's loads of great programs out there, don't get me wrong, but nobody can train my athletes like I can, because I see them day in, day out. My coaches see them day in, day out. So nobody knows them better than us. So nobody can progress them as well as we can, So yeah, that's important.
100%. And so, Scott, big question then. Like I alluded to it earlier, a little bit about yourself in terms of your personal background with sport and how you got into kind of our side of the industry.
So yeah, I mean, I've been training consistently, I would say, for 20 years now. I'm 35 years old. I got into bodybuilding actually when I had a number of injuries playing football and rugby. So I got into bodybuilding for 4 years, started into powerlifting, and then got into the CrossFit game, and realized that a lot of the bodybuilding stuff that I've been doing for 4 or 5 years was okay, but maybe wasting my time a little bit. So yeah, I've been doing kind of CrossFit, functional fitness type training for the past, I would say, 8 years or so. Right. Within that period of time, I obviously started coaching, opened up a gym, and we have a private coaching gym now. We have, and I think we have it around 450 members.
Wow.
Half of them train for High Rocks, half of them train for CrossFit. We have a good portion that are obviously just here to get a little bit fitter and a little bit healthier as well. So yeah, this is our 10th year anniversary of being opening the gym too. So yeah, it's been
amazing.
Busy.
Congratulations, well done. It takes a lot. I know what it takes to run a gym, and a lot of the unknowns and unheards are under your cap. So from one previous gym owner to another, well done. When you say, so you said there people train for half the gym train for High Rocks, half the gym train for CrossFit. I just want to ask you, I don't want to pick on it too much, but when I say at the gym, because I coach both now, obviously, at my gym, and people that train for High Rocks, we've got a difference in the people that turn up and do the High Rocks sessions, and then people that actually specifically train for a High Rocks.
Yep.
And then you've got people that train CrossFit and then train for a CrossFit event.
Yep.
Do you distinguish between those two people in the gym, or do you just treat them the same? So people that are training for competition are they the same for both of those things?
Relatively the same, depending on how serious they want to compete. But I think fitness now, if I compare to when I was bodybuilding and the people I trained back then, people went to the gym purely for one reason, and that was just how they looked. Whereas now everything is much more performance based. People, fitness is now almost sport. People are training for a sport. So yeah, in answer to your question, someone that's coming in to train for High Rocks and train for a High Rocks event, no, I would treat them exactly the same.
Cool.
Maybe fine tune a few things that coming up to competitions, or again, we have some athletes that are quite a decent level. They would maybe do a few things slightly differently, but no, as a whole, relatively the same. Yeah.
Great. And I know it's very soon and it's probably really tough to tell. This is all subjective, but do you think more people that come to the High Rocks classes are more likely to do a High Rocks than people that come to a CrossFit class are likely to do a CrossFit event?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think why do you think that is?
Obviously High Rocks is more accessible. So the attraction to High Rocks is obviously it's next to very, very, very low skill event. So it is more attractive for the big numbers. CrossFit, I mean, in theory, when you through the theory of CrossFit, it's exactly the same. But people in their 30s and 40s that are coming in at a fairly decent fitness level, they don't want to be going, and a lot of people don't have, if you have 3 to 5 hours a week, this is the way I simplify everything. If you have 3 to 5 hours per week to train, are you gonna give up 3 of those hours to learn how to do a handstand, or how to, you have to make them the most use out of your time. So I actually try and encourage people away from that. If you've got multiple hours for throughout the week, then let's nominate some of that time to learning how to do certain skills. But the most important thing, like I've said before, is make sure you're strong and make sure you're fit. If you have any time after that, then okay, let's specialize and let's put some hours into our CrossFit skills, into specific high rocks prep. But yeah, I think that's the reason why a lot of, say, people training for CrossFit won't compete.
Yep. Yeah, sure. Now I had Gretchen on a few months back, and amazing woman, and what she's achieved so far is awesome. I asked her a couple of questions. One of the questions that I asked was, and I'm kind of bringing us back to the point of the show, and what I want to talk to you guys mostly about is BF3 or IF3, then our kind of version of it, BF3. British Functional Fitness Federation. I've always loved that idea. That I think it was 2015-ish when it kind of first started breaking.
13, I think it was. Yep.
Right. Okay. Cool. So I remember seeing it, and I remember thinking, awesome. Like, because I'd seen CrossFit and I've seen the games and I've seen like individuals, but for me, I think, and I asked Gretchen about this, and I've been speaking to a couple of the Americans about this recently, and I think us over here, we like to represent our country. We do a lot of sports where we know, or we feel the pinnacle of our sports are to represent our country, not as an individual or a club. Obviously, we do promote club sports. Obviously, that's how we get into the national squads. But I feel like we appreciate and we promote national, global sport differently than the Americans. Would you tend to agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Right.
Do you want to kind of, Scott, break down the IF3 and then the structure into the BF3, how that works within like nations or different nations? And then...
Yeah, I mean, it's very simple. IF3 is the International Functional Fitness Federation, which we know. Hannah, do you know how many federations there are now?
I want to say 63, but I might be absolutely wrong.
Yeah, I think that's quite close anyway. So yeah, we're one of those 63 federations which adhere to IF3's policies and standards, within that.
I think those are the
IF3,
ones that are recognised, maybe, yeah.
Okay.
Around
yeah,
the world.
recognised. Yeah, yeah. Well, the sport's not recognised, but the federation's active.
Mm.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Good.
yeah, we all basically operate under the policies of IF3.
Good. Okay. And to put it into perspective, so I'm weightlifting coach, powerlifting coach. I do CrossFit obviously as well, but my sports, I've always known there to be an international governing body, and then like a regional, so you'd have European or Asia or whatever, North American, and then you'd have the national governing bodies, NGB. I run the NGB for weightlifting where I live. That's logical to me, to have linear progression, to have the governing body internationally to filter down, to pass down legislation and the constitutions and that kind of thing. Yeah, and governance, which is part of what makes a sport a sport. You have to have that. So the idea initially of the IF3 and what it was offering national governing bodies and that kind of thing, and legitimized functional sport, is massive. And I really appreciated that, and I understand it from a everything perspective, how cool it is. Now here we are, kind of 10 years later from when I started to see it and saw it kind of being represented. From my opinion, and I said this to Gretchen, it hasn't gripped and it hasn't taken hold as much as I genuinely thought it would, because I really, really see value in it. And obviously we've seen more promotion and more press this year, and it's getting out there, and we've seen more. And Tatiana, who I know, and I know her dad will, obviously she's done pretty well in it this year, and all the media that's come out of the worlds and the Europeans most recently and that kind of thing. So I want to ask you kind of, how did you, Scott, going back to you, how did you first get into your role within BF3?
Yeah, so I had a few athletes competing last year. I've been involved for the last 12 months. So yeah, from there, I was asked to get involved, and I applied for a role within the BF3, and it's just that's really how it started. I had athletes competing in the season, and yeah, I jumped on board ever since then. So I think this is like month 13 for me. So I think you have answered the question yourself there, as far as progress wise, or maybe we haven't progressed as fast as we would have liked. And I mean, it comes down to it's people like me and Hannah who are giving up our time to try and make the sport what it should be, and that will be the case for every federation. So there's a lot of people giving up their time we haven't got the funding yet to really put. We're competing with the likes of Hyrox and CrossFit, who are companies which is a sponsor's dream at this point.
Can I jump in?
Yep.
So BF3 is a non-profit organisation, so same as British weightlifting, same as powerlifting. We have to differentiate, and Scott's right. We've got CrossFit and Hyrox, who are corporate organisations. They are profit-based, right? Whereas an NGB is there for governance and regulation. Now, if we were to put functional fitness would be a sport and not a brand, and functional fitness hasn't been recognized as a sport yet. So one of our missions, as it were, or our aim, our end goal, is to ensure that functional fitness is recognized as a sport, the same as weightlifting, the same as powerlifting. I mean, hockey, netball, football, rugby, right? And then at that point, we do get funded by central government. And it's at that point, although we are already working as an organisation as we should, we are having the right conversations with the right people within government, within communities, within Sport England, all those Sport Accord. It's being recognised gives us the not only the autonomy, but the I suppose authorization, as it were, or the recognition that we are the, I'm going to say, governing body. We are the point of contact as to committees. So it's talking about putting people into the Olympics. Can we bid for a spot on the Olympics as a sport? We already do a lot of things already, like going into schools, going into communities. We've got our championships, qualifications, school pilot programs, which we all want to kind of like talk about today. But yeah, achieving recognition by Sport England as the NGB for competitive functional fitness in the UK. That's the driver, and I think it will help everyone.
Yes.
And then, you know, it can be socially prescribed by GPs, and, you know, it will be recognized. And there's so much research that's gone into it, you know, resistance training, strength training. It's the next step forward. It has to be.
Yeah. And I know, I understand, because I've had a couple of people in similar boats, but I know that from a duty of care and from a probably
safeguarding,
from that kind of thing. But from a legislative perspective, obviously, you guys probably can't talk too much openly about an association with CrossFit or High Rock. You know, from a legal perspective,
we don't. We're separate.
However, as a third-party media person, I can talk all I want about it. So at the gym level, I've been doing CrossFit since 2011. I coach people PT. I coach groups. I have done ever since then. I've done 23,000 hours of coaching groups. I know CrossFit. I know what it can give people. I've sold it to my family and friends. I do voluntary work around it. I make money out of it. I earn a living. I feed my kids with it. I have lived and breathed this thing, this functional fitness thing, whatever you want to call it, for so long now that it just seems daft to me that people wouldn't want to do it, right? And in all aspects. And Hannah, I said to you kind of a year ago now, I'd kind of fallen away from the competitive side of it. For one reason or another, I'd sort of fallen out of love with it. I was getting old, you know, I was about to turn 40 at the time. I couldn't compete with people that are 10 years younger than me anymore, where I kind of got an extra few grey hairs. I was kind of to the point, and I got lazy. I just got lazy. I didn't want to be accountable to outside of the gym. Then somewhere along this year, this kind of journey that I've been on, talking to people like yourself and speaking to people, you know, and going to events and stuff, I've fallen back in love with it. And it's because it was on me, but I've understood what competition does for people. I've understand that we need more than one competition. We need more than the open quarters, regionals or semis, and then the games. We need more than that on our arena, in our arena. We need more options for people. For me, High Rocks has done a bloody good job of where they've done and how they've profited from it. But for me, that isn't the answer. For me, it's an answer for some people from a selection of people at our gyms. And again, at our gyms, if you want to go to High Rocks, the best place you can go is a CrossFit affiliate and a CrossFit gym. It is. That's where you go to get better. If you want to get better at weightlifting, over the last 10 years, British weightlifting will tell you outright, because of our gyms, they've had this boom in competition, in athletes, in funding, in events, in the participation. Everything has been down to the fact that we've done that. Now, for me, functional fitness as an official sport, it needs to be there, because a lot of people at the gyms, once we've got the ground running, and once we have the BF3 flags up, just like we have got High Rocks and CrossFit banners, like I've got one behind me, when we start seeing those at gyms, when people start asking the questions, when affiliate owners talk about it, when they say, here's the link, here's how you can get involved, it's a legitimate sport, just like you'd send your kids to sign up at the fa.com and get an FA number. Here's your functional fitness, your BF3 number. Here's how you can legitimately get into this sport. Those grassroots are so damn important for getting the younger generations in, which is why the competition matters so much, because they're the flag keepers for what we can offer and what we can prescribe, and getting people into our gyms. And this is the crux of it all. Our gyms as CrossFit gyms will benefit. We're the only beneficiaries of all of these. We are the only beneficiaries of the High Rocks numbers going up, because that's people know eventually where they come to train for it. The BF3 CrossFit gyms are essentially where people will go to train for this and where they're coming from, just like Scott's gym.
Absolutely. But also there's another market there. So you've got functional fitness gyms, strength training gyms, you've got local community gyms, you've got Globo gyms, you've got all your big franchises. These gyms are already having functional fitness classes, however they're branding them, and they are being delivered by PTs, coaches, maybe did a module somewhere, maybe trained and thought, quite like that, I'm going to do it. We're talking about working with SimSpa to write a standardized description or job description for and recognize what a functional fitness coach looks like. So
Amazing.
you're standardizing functional fitness, not just for people who walk into CrossFit or High Rocks, but for the strength and training club, the local community gym down the road run by the council, right? It opens a pathway for them to go and improve their skill set and their coaching skill set, standardize it. We've got qualifications coming out this year, which are SimSpa approved, which have points. So if then they decide they're going to go chartership within their profession, they can. It's a global qualification recognised by Transcend. So it's not a case of you do your PT in England, then you have to redo it in Australia. So there's so many avenues, not just for our small community, but as a whole, for the whole health, fitness, wellness industry. It's going to be huge. And it's coming in and standardizing, providing governance, providing support, not only from a professional coaching experience that they're going to be able to progress through their professional career, whether that's competitive athletes, it's everyday athletes, participants, but then also the athlete themselves are going to have a very clear talent ID pathway, which Scott will go on to about the championships, which were released today. And the route there can be professional sport, a professional athlete that could get to the Olympics. So you've got two very clear structures that are available.
Excellent. I'm just finding the So in terms of qualifications, then, sorry, not qualifications as a coach, the qualifiers, big deal, and I personally will be signing up for them because I want to give it a go.
Good.
Although I don't butterfly anymore, so I don't know how much of an impact it's going to have on me. But I can pull it out of the bag when I need it, but I just rather not. That might be holding me back. So talk me through the season of IF3 season, for example. So the crux of it, I'd imagine, would be the world champs.
Yeah, so it's actually a really exciting season this year. Starts actually today. So the online qualifiers were released today, and for the first time, we've actually got two paths, which is super exciting. Athletes, you have 4 online qualifiers to do, and they need to be completed before the 8th of February. Then once scores and videos are reviewed, all athletes then will be able to see where they stand, obviously, against all the other athletes. This year, it's slightly different, though, because you'll be able to compare and see where you stand, not just in the UK, but also in your home nations as well. So you'll be able to see where you stand in Northern Ireland, where you stand in Wales, Scotland, and England, which is cool just for the qualifying part, but it's also essential for the next two pathways, because at this point, the top UK scoring athletes in each age division, so through all the juniors, through the open, and then through all the seniors right up to 70 years old, they then qualify for the British Championships, and the British Championships then is the pathway to the World Championships for the IF3. How the home nations is going to work is the top scoring athletes from each home nation will qualify for this year's European Championships, which we are hosting in Bath, England. We are hoping for 1,000 athletes, so it's going to be a super event. And again, because we have athletes from each home nation, we've got an opportunity to bring loads and loads of British athletes to the competition. So it's a really good year for our British athletes to get on board, because we're hosting such a massive competition. Yeah, it's super exciting.
That's cool.
Yeah. So basically, I mean, to keep it simple, the the qualifiers are, yeah, there it is there.
So we're starting here. Obviously, registration, qualifier announcement. And I love these graphics, by the way. I love how simple. I love simplicity.
Shout out to Nicole.
Yeah,
Nicole,
absolutely.
big up Nicole. But yeah, so here's the 20th to 23rd of August in Bath. And you know what? That might work out really well, you know, for me. No, I'm not saying I'll be there competing, but if I do qualify and compete, which probably won't, my wife's family are really near Bath, and it's her birthday on the 20th of August, so I might be able to get.
Oh, she's a Leo too, so I'm the 17th, and Scott, are you the 20? When are you? 20.
The 20th, the first day of that competition. Yep.
Oh, same as my wife. Oh, brilliant. Okay, good.
So Leos are the best.
Apparently so. Yeah, I've heard. So that's I love this graphic. So Nicole, big up Nicole. And then you've got obviously the path going on. You've got European champs, nationals, Europeans in Naples in July.
Yep.
World champs in Aruba for the Masters. That's I love saying Aruba. And then in December, obviously, like we've just had the World Champs for Juniors Opening Teams. Lovely, cool. So if you could talk me through, where's the? There we go. If you could talk me through that, like the qualifiers. I know that we're obviously slightly different with the IF3. The way that we do functional fitness, especially during the qualifying process, is slightly different to what people would tend to see with other functional fitness competitions. Can you talk me how we look at those from a training perspective?
From like a programming perspective?
Well, from a kind of a competency point of view. So if I'm an athlete and I'm used to having to do triplets that are like 50 toes to bar, loads of, you know, and doing 5 rounds for time, how do these qualifiers look in terms of, are they different in respect to what?
Yeah, so the way functional fitness is programmed from qualifying stage right through to the world stage is it's split into 6 key components. So we have strength, we have endurance, we have power, we have skill, we have body weight, and then we have mixed capacity. So all of those 6 domains are tested. So at the World Championships, at the European Championships, those 6 domains are all tested. So in the qualifiers that we're holding, we must make sure that we test those 6 things amongst. We've only got 4 qualifiers, but we need to make sure we test those 6 things within the qualifiers. So yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the nice things as well about functional fitness, because what you'll find is, because each domain is split up clearly, you'll have some endurance athletes that absolutely, you know, destroy the endurance event, which is super, because you're almost able to celebrate different types of athletes as well. You know, obviously the goal is to get the best rounded athlete, but you know, it gives you an opportunity to kind of celebrate each domain as well, in its own way. Yeah,
no, for sure. An example of that is I love a ski erg, right? It's my favorite, just because I can't be bothered with a rower. It's too hard. But over the years, I've loved this. And on the Concept 2 rankings, what I tend to do, I do the 1K, 2K, 5K, 10K, and I rank myself and I see where I'm at each year compared to globally and then Europe in my age group. And consistently, I'm always top 15 on all 4 of those domains, but I'm never top 5. I'm never top 5, but I'm always sort of top 15 across all 4 of them. And because of that, when you take in the aggregate, I'm really high up, which is essentially what we do with CrossFit. It's finding the best generalist, isn't it? It's the same thing with these. I know that's one machine, a very different example, but when we're testing, when we're dividing them up and we're kind of segregating them and testing those different domains, the specialists can come out to play. And to revert back to CrossFit's model, the Hopper model, eventually the best all-round athlete will get to the top. Right. We will have the best of the best come in there. So that's cool to know. So in terms of like signing up now, if I am a British weightlifting member, I need an annual membership to be part of British weightlifting. I then do qualifiers and sign up for events online or in person. Now, can you just tell me how, if I'm going to become a member of the BF3, what is it similar to that kind of approach?
Hannah, jump me.
Oh, is that me?
Can you
Apologies.
go ahead, Hannah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in. It's my time.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. So you have to register to be a member.
Right.
So there'll be a membership. You can go onto the website. So it's britishfunctionalfitness.sport.
Yeah.
On there, there's along the top bar, you can click member, individual member. You fill out your information, pay your, I want to say, is it 30?
Yeah, it's £30.
£30. Pay you £30. And then you get confirmation of that through an email. And then we obviously have your identification number.
Mm-hmm.
Then from there, you can go on to events, national events. And then it'll be British National Championships 2025, and you will have a sign up. You'll be able to click onto that. It'll go to Circle 21. And yes, you'll be able to, again, apply for through Circle 21 for your qualifier spots. When do the qualifiers go out? Is it today? Qualifiers going out?
So we have a staggered release date. So tomorrow we have the release of our qualifier 1, and then next Friday we have qualifier 2, 3, and 4 all been released.
Right.
Submission window, as you can see there, doesn't open till the 12th, but registration is open now.
And you have 4 tests. So your test 1 is strength, your test 2 is mixed modal, your test 3 is endurance, and then test 4 is skill and body weight. Again, so we've kind of gone back to those 6 domains of endurance, strength, skill, body weight, power, and mixed.
Awesome. And that's to be done by the 8th of February, isn't it? 4 online qualifiers. Awesome. That's all right. That's good for me. I can get that done just in time for the Open. Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm in Berlin at Coaches Congress on the 7th.
I'm there too.
Are you there, Hannah? Oh, amazing.
Yeah,
Maybe we can do the Yeah, we can do the qualifiers together. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Great idea.
Let's go. Amazing. So registration, membership, good. We've gone through what it means to be. So, all right, last thing then. So last thing for me. So I'm a gym owner. I'm not, but let's pretend I am. I'm a gym owner in the UK, and I love the idea of BF3. I love the idea. It gives me a new option for some of my members. I love representing my country, so I want to do it as well. I want to push it. I've paid a CrossFit affiliation fee, paid my $4,500 a year. I'm a High Rocks affiliate. I'm doing that as well because I know that broadens my horizons. I've got a jiu-jitsu gym next door because I just love jiu-jitsu. How do I become? Who do I need to talk to become a BF3 gym?
Am I right to go? Yeah. Will you share the screen again and where you had the website?
Yeah, sure.
So exactly the same as what the athlete has done. And you can register and be a member and to progress the sport, because it's really important that we have members and, really kind of build up that base. So you can affiliate as an individual member, even if you don't want to go through the competition. And then you can also go with as an individual member, or you can do as an affiliate. So this is for your business. This would be, and it doesn't have to be a CrossFit gym. Like I said, you can be, I'm going to say Globo Gym. You can be Mum Pop. You could be, county council ran, what have you, whatever, as long as you want to be able to deliver functional fitness. And again, you just drop on, it tells you who we are, what our purpose, our mission. It's all towards getting, functional fitness recognized as a sport, so we can get that funding in and trickle it down. You can be affiliate member for £20 annually currently, and just need to fill it in. Again, you will get a confirmation email. Then actually this kind of brings me quite nicely into NEDs. Scott, can you, I never.
Yeah, so we have, so NEDs are our regional directors within BF3. I'm the regional director for Northern Ireland. Liam Walker is the regional director for Scotland. Kelly Marshall is the regional director for England. Cool. And Owen Roberts is the director for Wales. And basically our responsibility is to kind of act as the link between the National Federation and then the athletes, coaches and gyms within our regions. All
gyms will be getting a welcome. Good morning. Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Email all the athletes who are currently members. That's going to be going out in the next 2 days. It will introduce each regional director, what their purpose there is for its athlete welfare, really listening to the gyms as to what they want, how that we can help them, and that feeds back in. So it's a real direct link, so we can hear on the ground exactly what people need, businesses need, and athletes want for their sport, because we have an idea from and a vision and a direction, because we know what we need to do to be recognized. However, we want to mold and make sure that it's a sport for everyone, and we're listening to what people need, and that we can tailor that to make sure it's usable, beneficial, you know. It's really, really important to listen to our community.
Yes, absolutely. And that's been clear a lot all the way with everyone that I spoke to that's involved with the IF3 in some form or another, and the people that are already affiliated are saying that it's, you know, there's a, like you said earlier, Scott, obviously CrossFit and Hannah, you said CrossFit, Hyrox, they're private companies, they're profit making private companies, and you know, I'm all about CrossFit, right? But this is something different. This is you know, legitimizing and formalizing a pathway and a route to help
everyone,
gym, everyone, promote what we do. You know, it's another arm, another link in our chain that we have to get bigger and to grow, and it's incremental, and it's so cool seeing this opportunity. And I love the idea of being able, and I spoke to Scott Schweitzer about this on Clydesdale last week, and we've got a different idea about it. I love the idea of people representing their flag and not as an individual. I like that as an option. It doesn't replace what we are doing. It's in addition to. I love the idea of your flag winning a gold medal rather than you. And his feedback was, well, at the games they have their flag next to the name. That counts for shit. No one's looking at Amy Kringle and saying she's got the wrong flag. She should have a Manx flag. They're looking at that, and they don't even look at her flag.
They're looking at Amy Kringle because she is phenomenal. I just happen to be in the same gym as her when she trains, and she is unbelievable. So, and a lovely person. So hats off to her. But you're right. Well, being able
we need this flag.
Yeah, being able to
next to her name, not the British flag.
Well, it's built. BF3 is built from the community, and the passion has come from the people in the community to drive it forward. Like, there is a need there, and I think you've hit on it, because the Junior World Championships are in Hungary. Lithuania, recently, earlier this month. And it's the second year that the juniors have won the, what did they win? Best youth medal.
Yeah, based off medals. BF3 have won that last 2 years in a row at the World Championships.
And I mean, that screams for the grassroots of functional fitness. So it's all the work that JST youth camps are doing, that the BF3 youth camps are doing. I'm not going to put the academy in there at the same league, but it's all the grassroots work that all those gyms that have kids classes, that have teens classes, that the mom and dads are pulling their kids in to do it because they love CrossFit and they see it in terms of wealth, confidence, skill set, tenacity, you know, all those things that, you know, young people should have going into the world as well-rounded people. And, you know, they're just phenomenal. Like, the future of functional fitness as a sport from juniors is going to be amazing. So it's being able to, again, we've got a talent ID that Scott will come on to as well. And all these people, so Jack, Jamie, you know, so many people who are involved, because, and Mark, you know, just see how big it can be. And we've got to start with grassroots and really investing in our youth and juniors.
Yes, 100%. So Scott, can you touch on that a little bit?
The talent ID, really exciting. Me and Hannah both worked quite hard on this all year, and it's a really exciting project that we're going to be hopefully rolling out this year. I suppose the backbone of the talent ID process, I mean, we've got a real big map of how you progress through the talent ID, but I think the backbone of it is the grading scheme that we created this year. And basically it's an 8-tiered grading system, and it's basically used as so it's just a way of like kind of assessing athletes. So if you think of martial arts, the way they have a grading system, we've done the same with functional fitness, and it's it's going to be used to understand an athlete's current ability. It's going to be used to group athletes together. So for example, grade 4 athletes, we could run training days, we could even run competitions for grade 4 athletes. It's going to obviously help us guide long-term development and just general decisions. And each grade then is basically assessed on the domains of functional fitness, which we've already talked about, which is strength, endurance, power, skill, body weight, and mixed capacity. So I'm really excited to roll that out.
Oh,
yeah, so we've got
new.
so gyms will be able to host grading jet days. So say, for example, they're going to be called Centre of Excellences. So you have, in a particular region, you've got 10 gyms that have a BF3. One of 2, however many of those gyms, have to reach a certain criteria, and they'll be classed as Centre of Excellences. Centre of Excellences will be able to run grading days. As Scott said, we've got from foundation all the way up to legacy. When you go past grade 5, we're also looking at things like community. Are you working within your community? Are you putting back into your gym? You don't have to be coaching, because obviously the barrier to entry to coaching is cost, right, to qualify. But what are you doing? And as we get further up, it's about, we talk about maintaining mastery, refining peak performance, and guiding athletes through through pathways. We talk about what avatar do we want that person to embody. So, an inspirational athlete, excelling across all domains, showing integrity and mentoring the next generation. So it's not just about individual achievement. It's about how do we then grow as well. So, to be a legacy grade 8, you are, the pinnacle of what we would want to represent as the Olympics.
And I know we've that there is metrics though within each grade as well. So there's it's kind of a benchmark tool as well. So grade 1 will have X amount of metrics across the 6 functional fitness domains, and it also allows athletes to stay well balanced from the start right through, rather than leaving anything behind. So I'm really excited for it.
And I just want to touch one more. So with the foundation, we're thinking, okay, so how do we get somebody who's come to a few classes, really enjoys it? The great thing about Hierarchs, it's a low entry, anyone can turn up as long as they've got great, a good base of fitness and strength. They can go and have a great time. So with foundation, the idea was, could we get, for example, school children to take their foundation grade 1? It has to be attainable. So we're talking about 30 seconds bar hang, 15 burpees with alternative step out, 45 seconds plank. They're mixed modal. We've named it Saxon. It will obviously change every year. 4 minutes max cows on a fan bike. Bench press 20 kilograms for males, 15 kilograms for females. It's the marker, the starting marker. It then allows them, if they were then to go to grade 2, right, now I need to be able to get a 20-second rope hang. Now I need to be able to. So it really ensures that you're getting a well-rounded athlete throughout their journey. So for me, I shy away from gymnastics, but I would not be able to progress until I really looked at that.
But there's so many ways we're going to be able to use this. So once we do roll it, I hope to roll it out to affiliates, not just for the talent ID and junior pathway, but it's something for coaches to use with their athletes too. When you have you have an athlete come into the gym and they're really keen to learn a toes to bar, you can look to the grading process and right, can we hang off a bar for 30 seconds yet? Because if we can't, we shouldn't be thinking about a toes to bar. Can we do all of these steps before so it's going to help coaches as well.
It's it's ticking so many boxes, but it's also treating it like a sport.
Yeah.
We see that in every, like my daughter, for example, signed up for swimming. She can swim, but now we put her into a swim club every Wednesday night. She gets graded. She's going to these centers to get graded as part of a club. Doesn't mean she can't swim whenever she likes. It's just we're legitimizing and formalizing her education and putting a stamp on it. And I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry, I get so excited.
Right.
So you like with the swim, this was the whole idea as well behind, you get a swim badge, don't you? You've swum 25 minutes. Yeah. You get your badges, you get your Pioneer badge, you get your digital downloadable, whatever it is. You get your certificate, you get your number, your membership number. It's all on the system. You can see, and it's almost like a bingo card is the way I described it. Yes, I've got that. Yes, I've got that. Oh, I need to get this one. And so before you turn up to your grading day, you have to be able to hit at least 80% of all those. By the time you get to grade 4, if you haven't been able to hit 80% of at least all of these, you by default will not pass on to grade 5, because you need to have been able to. You'll be able to pass through, and I'll get through. But actually, when I've got to grade 4, I really need to have worked on my gymnastics to have made it to grade 5.
Do you know what I like about this as well? The grading system is, and this. I coach a lot of these people, have done in the past. They don't want to compete. They do not want to go to competition, but they're always saying, I want to train for something. I want goals. I want to know that I'm progressing. How do I know I'm progressing? And we have to say, well, if you repeat one of the girl WODs, you'll be able to see that you've increased your capacity by 5 seconds. To the average gym goer, that doesn't mean a hell of a lot without all the education that goes behind what we do. Now, in any other sport, we've got these stamps, and like I'm so glad you said, Scott, about the jiu-jitsu belts, because my kids do it, and their goal, and once they've earned that belt, they have earned it, and they know that stripe and that new color belt is they've earned it, and they keep that. And these physical markers of what we can do, it ticks so many boxes. And also the grading system, if you say to someone, all right, I'm a grade 6, it's like, oh wow, okay, cool, that's earned. You're an athlete, and I know what you've gone through, I know what you can do, and I know what you're capable of doing. And by Hannah's thing, I know that you're part of your community. Because one thing that I've kind of, I understand where it's happened and where it's come from, but a lot now, you've got the training camps, you've got Brute, you've got Mayhem, you've got HWPO, you've got this, that, and the other. They're away from us common folk. They're not part of what we do anymore. Like you said about Amy and Harry training in the gym, Hannah, which is great that you get to see them. But I'd hazard a guess and say it's not often they're part of the class and they're high-fiving people when they're walking in. They might do it now and again, but
I think those two, I absolutely agree with you. But I have to say, Harry and Amy are really good with the community, and I think the beauty of having this system is Amy and Harry would obviously be legacy, but you're surrounded by excellence. And I talked about this a few weeks ago. Just being surrounded by excellence and being in the same room as them makes you achieve more just by being close proximity. So there's this beauty behind having these legacy athletes that you can see, oh, you've earned that. I see day in, day out how they've earned that. And they're a beautiful part of the community. Whereas like this grading allows the legacy to be a beautiful part of the community, whilst also being not a hero,
mentor.
What's the word? A mentor. That's it. So they're a mentor, but they'll be able to be more involved in say running a COE. So a legacy would have to be part of maybe running a training day. It doesn't have to mean they have to coach it. They could just be behind the scenes helping plan it. And the training days are really cool. You could bring together, so you have a big training day, then you're like, oh, actually I've got loads of grade 4s in my area. I'm going to host a few hours on a morning, 3 hours, and we're going to get all the grade 4s in my county, and we're going to have a great time. We're just going to have a fun time, or we're going to develop that skill. And then what we'll be able to do is pull out of those grading days. And we know in Worcester the skill set for grade 4 that is needs developing is, for example, again, going back to gymnastics, is toes to bar. Okay, right, I'm going to send out to all my grade 4s. I'm going to run a 2-hour session, July 19th. You're all going to come in, and then we're going to work on that. And then eventually they'll be able to have a program off the BF3 that says, right, I know to be able to get to my next thing for grade 5, that's what I'm doing. Or again, the gyms then know, okay, the majority of my members are grade 4. This is where I'm looking at to get them to a grade 5. I need to program a bit more of this throughout my programming for the next 6 months, whatever. So it really helps direction, not only for individual athletes, but for coaches, and also for gyms to understand their membership base skill set more. Not saying they don't already, because they know their members. Really, really nice.
It's just nice. I think though, like you're saying there, Hannah, we all do know our members, but I think what's really nice about the grading system, there's physical metrics there. You know, that you can hold yourself and your members accountable to. You know, where are we weak? You know, what's the most common metric for grade 4s? What's holding them back to get to grade 5? Yeah, so you know, having a physical number. You know, just saying you're weak in gymnastics. That, you know, that's where we are at the minute. You know, where's your weakness? Gymnastics. Right? Let's be a little bit more specific. You know, because maybe it's not gymnastics. Maybe it's just something within gymnastics, or you know, my fitness is bad. Right. Well, what about your fitness? So those physical metrics gives us something to be accountable to and work towards.
Yes.
And I think oh, sorry.
There you go.
I'm so sorry.
Don't be. You carry on.
And I think it works really well for like youth camps. So I don't know if you've seen that, Mark. So we've got a British functional fitness centre based in Sheffield now. Forge Functional Fitness, and Mark, Jack, and a few others run, and Pete run youth camps specifically for national championships or national teams. And that really, I think part of the idea has been born out of that as well, because that's really helped bring those young people together as a community, refine the skills, and and that's great for athletes, but we can do this for everyday people. There you are. And I mean, that's a testament as to why they've got all those gold, silvers and bronze, all the medals at Worlds. Those people there.
Incredible. I love the haircuts as well. That's how I know I'm old. Like, I see a lot of the haircuts. I'm like, whoa, broccoli. That whole broccoli head thing, it is a big deal. Not that anyone there's got it. So what we, do you know what? I wrote a spider diagram the other day, Hannah. You'll be happy to know.
You know, I love the diagrams.
You love a diagram, and it's great. I love it. I wrote a spider diagram of like what we've got within like the UK and British functional fitness scene. You know, everything that we've got, and it went on forever. And I'm trying to explore as much of this as I can and trying to write it down. And one of those things was our athletes at the tip of the spear. So you got obviously Kringle, who's from the Isle of Man, but Harry and Lucy, who were at the games, they're both level 2. Harry recently did his L2 and has been promoting that. Lucy talks about fucking box programming and is a coach in Nottingham, and she's at Luton at the moment. But like, we've got this amazing functional fitness scene in the UK and Britain, whatever you want to call it. But we've got this incredible scene, and to somehow legitimize it and make it into this sport that's adjacent to CrossFit as a brand, and is using that platform and allowing our members to have something else to formalize what they're doing in the gym, is such a good pathway. And that's the word that we talk about in sport, isn't it? A lot, pathway. And you know, from the talent ID to the grading systems to the gym affiliations to the qualifications that have come out today, they're all pathways for people. And I think what people have lacked in our gyms over the last few years is a pathway. They're kind of floating around a bit like
direction.
jellyfish. Yeah, direction is exactly what it is. There's direction, and a lot. And I genuinely think that's why Hyrox took off so much over the last couple of years, is because it is literally, even though it's around in a big circle, it's a direction for people to take. They go, oh, I can book a ticket in 4 months' time. It gives me 16 weeks training cycle. I know what I'm doing when I go to the gym. But not everyone wants to do that. Not everyone wants to go to a CrossFit competition. So having these grading systems, having these solutions for people, having these goals and these objectives, that as a coach, if I've got a PT client or I'm working with someone at the gym and they say, do you know what, I want to work towards my grade 4, I've got a blueprint there. I know what I'm working with them on. I can fill up my training program with them. It's beautiful. It's exactly what it's ticking so many boxes that are empty currently, but it's incremental. It's adding to what we've already got, and it's formalizing it, and it's brilliant. And I'm so
Thank you.
bloody proud of it. But thank you. As a coach, thank you.
Well, thanks, because that's a beautiful summary, and I suppose it brings me on to the team. You might see me in Scott, but like, it is an army behind the scenes, a genuine army who give so many hours. I think about how many hours me and Scott, like, and it's because we love it. We're so passionate about it. We understand how big it can be and what it can do for people on so many different levels. And in terms of health and direction, as you said, but it really is a huge army of people working behind the scenes, giving time, their own money to invest into it. And I suppose that brings me on to recruitment.
Yes.
We might be an army. We are an army of few who are incredibly passionate. We have committees available. I don't know if you'd be able to bring up the governance structure on the website. So if anybody is interested about, you have to go through a formal process. So we do have a council. We do have positions available, not on the council, but executive positions available. I filled one of them recently as ops director, and I am part of the team that need to fill. So if you go to governance, about governance,
does it come up? Yeah,
go down. There
just
we go.
loading. Sorry,
that's the badger. We have
you.
committees, so we've got different committees that will we are looking for people to be part of. These are, if you scroll down, you've got the council there. You've got, there you go. Then you have different committees for governance. So we've got governance committee, so that's nomination, risk and audit, ethics. We've got policies and operations. We're looking at athletes committee. So I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who may not be competitive athletes, but are passionate, maybe passionate coaches, passionate about functional fitness. You know, we're looking at people who are going to represent athletes' interests, all aspects of the sport. We're looking at memberships committee, participation committee, events, technical, anti-doping, qualifications. We need a representative from each of the nations, and each of those committees are headed by one of the chair people. You've got elite pathway manager, so Jack is that person. Memberships manager, we are currently recruiting for. I'm also the participation manager, but I will need to be recruiting for that. Technical managers, anti-doping, we've already got the qualifications manager, we've got our events manager. And if you look it up, it gives you a bit of a matrix as to who's responsible for that and how you can kind of be involved. So through the next through Q1, I'm going to be really pushing for filling these committees, looking at people within our community already and looking at their skills and for how we can put the correct skills for the correct people in the right positions. We need people who have capability, capacity, and time. Because we can all, I'm sure you found, we have people who have the passion. Do you have the time? Are you doing it for the right reasons? Because, as you know, a lot of the work that happens behind the scene, you get no recognition for.
Yeah.
You do it for the joy and for the purpose. And then do you have the capability? So yeah, cool. Really looking, there'll be a big push for that. So if anyone is, who is listening, who maybe of somebody who you think you've instantly thought, oh, that person would be amazing. Maybe they're searching for purpose at this moment in their life, and they're like,
Mm.
this is that for them. You know, it can really drive. So yeah, we're looking at recruitment in terms of an organizational structure, and that's going to help all the wonderful projects that we've got coming up. So Scott, do you want to talk about like the qualifications? Now this is really exciting, and Mark has worked so hard with Abby on this.
Yeah, so we've already touched on the qualifications that we've created. So we ran our first level 1 pilot what date was that, Hannah?
Yeah, so November.
October?
So it's in competitive
November?
functional fitness.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's our level 1. I was running our second level 1 in 2 weeks' time.
January. Yeah, Worcester.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then we're hoping to roll it out to the public and our affiliates from there. So we've got level 1 right up to level 4. And yeah, it's a recognized qualification. So it's not, it's not a
certification. It's a qualification that stays with you for life. It's recognized by SimSpa. So again, you're going to get those accreditations if you're going for a chartership within your industry or profession. And it's transcend. So again, it's going to be all it's through the 6 domains. Is it? Yeah, it is. And it's got you go through it because sorry, I've interrupted.
So level 1 was level 1 is essentially being a class assistant, so it's not, you can't do level 1 and go and open a British Functional Fitness affiliate. It's starting at a real low level, allowing people to come in and help members rather than necessarily take a full class. So the pathway from level 1 to level 4 is quite nice. We don't go into massive amounts of detail in level 1. We just cover all of the basics of functional fitness, and then as the levels progress, that's when we start to layer in more detail and obviously the pathway within each gym. So level 2 allows you to take a class. Level 3 then allows you to start programming. So yeah, it's a nice coaching pathway as well, which I'm looking forward to rolling out in my gym, definitely.
Good. So and again, I don't know how obvious this is to international viewers or listeners, but it's very common practice in the UK with all of our sports, whether it's swimming, gymnastics, weightlifting, powerlifting. We do have these stages of coaching, and you qualify up your way through, and it kind of goes in line with the ability of the athlete. Kind of running a gym, operating a gym, you have to usually go a little bit higher to be able to be called an affiliate gym and that kind of thing. To have those, to be able to become a center of excellence, you need to have had at least one person go through certain qualifications. So it's lovely to hear that. I know that CrossFit kind of tried that with the L2 and opening gyms from now on, but this is a much more formalized and more structured pathway, I feel, for legitimizing it as a pathway for individuals and for the gyms and for coaches. I love the idea of the qualification towards it as well. If you are a coach in our domain, you should constantly be striving to learn more, to educate yourself more. This is another way to do that. It's another way to get better at our craft and to understand what people want. Because at the end of the day as well, if you're a coach or a gym owner, you've got to understand the needs of your individuals and what they're after. So just simply putting the blinkers on and saying, I'm doing this, nothing else matters. It sort of defeats the whole object of being for everyone, for anyone, sorry.
And those coaches also then get that option of, okay, so do I want to be on one of the committees? Do I want to be on, elite programming? Do I want to be part of the athlete committee? Do I want to be part of the team that takes the juniors, the masters, the individuals, and if we're looking at Brisbane 2032, if I get up to level 3 qualification, am I going to be on Team UK as a coaching team, taking and representing my country
at the Olympics?
At the Olympics.
Yeah. There's a lot of there's many carrots to all of this, and none of them, and the one thing that I like is that none of them are geared up all around profit. None of them are geared up around money. And what you end up with when you offer these kind of experiences is people that they're not after it about the money. They're not after, they're doing it because they love it, because they love being part of this thing that we have, which is the sport, which we see it in all the other sports. You know, my kids play rugby, football, jiu-jitsu, swimming, that all the parents, they're volunteering. You get the people, the refs on the sidelines, the gym, your swimming coaches, they're there because they love it. And there's this respect that goes from the parents to the coaches. And as a coach of all this and going through this system, if you're on the committees, you're automatically stamp of approval. You're one of us, you know, and it's another way to add to our community. We always talk about community and this is what we've got, and why not be part of something broader, you know, which is lovely.
You can say it, but how many people are out there willing to go and do it?
Yeah.
You know, if you want to be the change, if you want to see change, you have to be the change. You have to get off your bum off your seat and go and do it. So you're going to hear the tippy tap of the dog's feet in a minute.
Right.
Which also we do another project that's coming in is our school pilots. So
Amazing.
You know, I'm all about kids. We've ran a school pilot where we've delivered the level 1 to 13 schools in Devon, in Exeter, with CrossFit Pi. And then starting next week, they will be doing a 12-week, all those schools have picked a class that they will be doing 12 weeks of a program that's actually been written in conjunction with Dr. David Lubins, who is from the University of Newcastle in Australia. So he's a world-renowned researcher. He is somebody who, I think he's the top 3 referenced researcher in academic or academia in the world. So he has something called resistance training for teens. It's in schools all across Australia. And we have teamed up with him, and their schools will be delivering a resistance training program, so a functional fitness program, over the 12 weeks. Then they'll come together for a fitness festival. So school fitness festival, obviously what the academy does, that will be hosted at CrossFit Pi, where all those kids come together to imitate a grading day. So those kids, without knowing, will do their foundation badge and walk away with that, and then be invited back in by CrossFit Pi as to whether they do kids class, maybe they have been selected on that day and they're talent ID, they're now going to be pumped into our grassroots talent ID for British Functional Fitness. And then they have a pathway to all these youth camps and juniors and so you're taking straight from secondary and primary. Worcester one's going to launch in January. Again, all these haven't been able to be happen without the active partnerships in the area. So we are linked in with other active partnerships. Herefordshire and Worcestershire active partnership are unbelievable. And they have enabled us to get out to all these schools to launch this school pilot. Once they've each had their direct grading days or school fitness festival, again, really important that kids don't think it's grading. They recognize the feeling that they have whilst being active, and then that makes them want to then continue lifelong participation in activity.
Yes.
So once they've had that, then they can be channeled through into, like I said, any of those pathways. It's legitimized, it's graded, it's very structured. And again, like you said about parents, it's very clear to them as to how do they get their badge, their belt, you know, all those other sports.
Just on that as well, Hannah's given you an example of the grade 1, putting the schools through the grade 1 without them knowing. I also did that with a bunch of adults that came in for a beginner program, a 6-week beginner program, which, you know, affiliates will be able to use too, you know, because it's a great way of, you know, getting a bunch of new members to a certain level before you release them out into the gym floor, you know. So yeah, it can be used in so many ways.
Excellent.
So
and again, it's just tools that we can use. It's
And then
it's a
we've been
no-brainer.
quite lucky is because in September, once this first school pilot is out the way, this is kind of us demonstrating to funders that it's going to improve health markers, it's going to improve engagement markers within education, behaviour as well, and fine and gross motor skills for handwriting, and attendance and everything really. So we're looking at that from a health and well-being perspective and a child development perspective. But then what Dr. David Lubins has then decided is that we will go together for a white paper, white research paper, which again will just allow us to, and that's going to be over the next 2 years. We've got somebody who's going to be doing their PhD, so they'll be leading that research, and that just all supports the for us to get recognition as a sport. So it's all working well together. It all feeds in.
All of that makes complete sense. And the other thing, if for no other reason, right? If I'm a CrossFit gym and I see schools getting involved with this kind of thing and doing it, I'm thinking, well, all of these kids are going to want to train CrossFit somewhere, or train functional fitness somewhere. If I'm positioned rightly, if I'm part of this, I can get 20 new recruits. If I do it right, it's all. If for no other reason, you're looking at membership numbers and income. It's another way of doing it. It's a no-brainer. That's if there's no other reasons other than wanting to actually get people fit, healthy, living longer, and get kids moving and healthy, which should be the reason. But yeah, guys, that's all of this has been music to my ears. It's all these things that I've been just hoping, would come along, and it's a necessary kind of incremental bit of growth for our corner, like we've seen over the last couple of years. We get a new shoot offs and new sprouts of stuff happening, but this is a legitimate, formalized way of putting it all into the right path, and the fact that it's non-profit is obviously a clear indicator that we're doing it for the right reasons. So amazing. Thank you for all your hard work. I know it is hard work, and I know that a lot of it goes unrecognized, but it is recognized, and all the fruit is going to become obvious very, very soon with all of this. So, and Hannah, obviously you with the academy, and Scott, you with your gym every day. You know damn well when you see the fruits of your labor, you see it, and it's recognition from that. So you both be very, very proud of the work that you've done so far. We'll do everything that we can to obviously promote, and Hannah, obviously I'll see you when Bill in and we can have a chat there. But if there is anything that we can do to help, I'll post as much as I can and promote, and anything that you need, just give me a shout. But
thank you. I really appreciate your time.
Oh,
really
no,
appreciate
my pleasure.
today.
My pleasure. So thanks for joining us, guys. I'm going to say goodbye to the audience. Thank you for watching, everyone, whether you're watching it now or in the future. Thanks for being with us, and I will be back on Sunday with Stephen Rayner from Tweed Bank in Scotland. So yeah, nice one, guys. Guys, if you just hang on for a sec. Hang on a sec. Sorry, hold the phone. There we go. And